Okay, you're live.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is a special called meeting of the Athens-Clarke County Board of Elections. The date is January 26th, and the meeting time is at 5:30 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed due to COVID-19 precautions. And the first order of business on the agenda is reading of the board member oath of office. If I do not have any volunteers, I'd be happy to do that myself. All right, looks like it's me. I do swear or affirm that I will, as a member of the Board of Elections, duly attend ensuing primaries and elections during the continuance thereof, that I will, to the best of my ability, prevent any fraud, deceit, or abuse in carrying on the same, that I will make a true and perfect return of such primaries and elections, and that I will at all times truly, impartially, and faithfully perform my duties in accordance with Georgia laws and to the best of my judgment and ability. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda unless there are any changes.
Move that we adopt the agenda.
Okay, motion by Ms. Fambro. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. Seconded by Ms. Till. The motion, it's on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Okay. All right, the agenda is adopted. So the next item on the agenda is public comment, and we have received an overwhelming number of public comments, and we are trying to save some time here. All of the public comments that we did receive, and they are still coming in. I've gotten 5 since the meeting started. All of them will be included with the meeting minutes for this meeting. I'm hoping that we can just read the name and the person's opinion. Either most of the comments are a yes or a no. Does that work for the other board members, or would we rather read 85 emails?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Mr. Shirley, would you be able to keep a tally if I go through reading these emails unless another member wishes to do that?
I'll be happy to.
Okay. All right. You guys want me to read them? Okay. All right. So I'm going to read the name and then the person's opinion. So the first email is from Miss Eunice Kang, and it was a yes vote. The next one is from Cameron Kelly, and that is a yes vote. The next one is from Nicola Dovey. This one is a little different. I'm going to go ahead and read this one. It's not like the rest of them that I've been receiving. So, dear board members, the district map put forward by Representative Houston Gaines may benefit certain political interests, but at what expense to voters? 2/3 of all voters in Clarke County will no longer be in the same district. 25,000 Athenians who expected to vote for commissioner this year will have to wait until 2024. Additionally, 3 of our duly elected commissioners will be prevented from running for office in their own district and will not be able to run at all for 2 more years. During a difficult time, you will have maintained voter confidence in the election process in Athens-Clarke County. It is important that we don't even have the appearance of removing competition by eliminating elections here. The changes in the district map will complicate the work of the Board of Elections and almost as much as it will unsettle voters, but there is an alternative, a compromise map prepared by Representative Spencer Fry and approved by the Athens-Clarke County Commissioners. I'm writing to ask each of you as board members to vote yes on the resolution, recommending that the state legislature approve the Athens compromise redistricting map. Thank you for your hard work. So it looks like that one was a yes. Anyway, moving on. The next one is from Simone de Viray Silvershield. I hope I pronounced that right. Please, that is a yes. The next one is from Tracy Young, and that is also a yes. The next one is from Rayana Kelly, and that one is a yes. The next one is from Kathy L. Sanderson, and that is a yes. The next one is from Barbara Benson, and that is a yes. The next one is from Regina Roth Goldman, and that is a yes. Next one is from Ellen Stoneburner, and that is a yes. The next one is from Mike Healy, and that is a yes. The next one is from Kate Blaine, and that is a yes. The next one is from Carol McKay, and that is a yes. The next one is from S. Palladino, and that is a yes. The next one is from Kate Woods, and that is also a yes. The next one is from Diane Shimkitz, and that is a yes. The next one is from Sarah Baugh, and that one is a yes. Kurt Silvershield, and that is a yes. David Stanley, that is a yes. Mary Overton, that is a yes. Nancy Tisdale, that is a yes. Dawn Fest, that is a yes. One sentence, perfect. The next one is from Sarah Frances Hensley, and that is a yes. The next one is from Michael Goltzer, and that is a yes. The next one is from Greg Bowdish, and that is a yes. We're getting there. The next one is from Heather M. Fletcher, and that is a yes. The next one is from Eric Griffith, and that is a yes. The next one is from Deidre Suguuchi, perhaps. I hope that's correct. And that is also a yes. The next one is from Mickey Chastain, and that is a yes. Barbara Dean says yes. Judy Goltzer, and that is a yes. Was buried in that one. Shannon Derrick, that is a yes. Sarah Dygert, that is a yes. Anne Puckett, that is a yes. Barbara Lewis, that is a yes. Brian Steele, that is a yes. Sarah Glickman, that is a yes. Christine Malozzi, that is a yes. Jim and Ellen Day, that is a yes. Drew Abney, that is a yes. Richard Zimdars, that is a yes. Bettina Kaplan, that is a yes. Carl Glickman, that is a yes. Laura Rack, that is a yes. Joanna Gardner, that is a yes. Jocelyn Crumpton, that is a yes. Andrew Wine, that is a yes. Carrie Steinberg, yes. Lainey Fursilian, that is a yes. Carol Sundlin, that is a yes. Hold on. This is an email from Charlotte Sosby, and it has an attachment with a voice message, which is a yes. And that person is Roberta House. Okay. And this is from Karen and Bruce Menke. That is a yes. This is from Greg Davis. And that is a yes. This is from Sally Hale, or say Sarah Jones Hale. Sorry. Apologies. That is a yes. Delmaris Gray, and that is a yes. Carter Vest, and that is a yes. Joshua Borger, that is where is there? That is a yes. Janet Frick, that is a yes. Jason Matherly, that is a yes. Joel Seibentritt, that is a yes. Richard Menke, that is a yes. Ellen Walker, that is a yes. Sean Beckwith, that is a yes. Clark Henderson, that is a yes. Georgia McPeak, that is a yes. Frank Cook, that is a yes. Eleanor Davis, that is a yes. Joan Sheldon, that is a yes. Jo Beth Allen, that is a yes. Nathan Ork, that is a yes. Joshua Pfeiffer, that is a strong yes. Carla Buss, that is a yes. Aaron Stacer, that is a yes. Peter Norris, that is a yes. Kathy Haar, that is a yes. Nancy Hunter, that is a yes. Becky Kirkland, that is a yes. Tucker Austin, that is a yes. Lane Pratt, that is a yes. This one is just signed Peter, and it is a yes. And we have Tracy Merritt, that is a yes. There is one. Kathy Mason, that is a yes. Penny Oldfather, that is a yes. Terry Nestor, that is a yes. Jacqueline Elsner, that is a yes. Joan C. Curtis, or Joan Curtis, excuse me. Yes. Brianna, that is not a person that. Kira Deagle Drake, and that is a yes. Angela Green, that is a yes. And I believe we have reached the end. Does any other member have any names, particular any no's that I did not read? Yes, Mr. Kadir.
Mr. Rathel, I have just about a dozen names, although I think you have read most of them, possibly all, but I cannot be sure. So if you can just grant me 1 minute, I would like to read their names, and I've read already, I read through their comments, so I can summarize it in one. less than a minute.
Okay, sounds good. Mr. Shirley, I saw you had your hand up. Did you have any additional that I did not read?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I saw that. I just happened to glance at my email, and while you were reading at 5:44, we had one that came in from Bonnie Cramond. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing the name, and it says, "Please vote yes."
Okay. And then one comment that, well, we can talk about that in the next. There's a bit of confusion in a few of them, but we'll clarify in the next agenda item.
Okay, the folks who had the public comments I received were from Bonnie Crammond, Eunice Kang, Ellen Stoneburner, Regina Roth Goldman, Diane Shimketz, Nancy Tisdale, Mary Overton, David Stanley, Francis Hensley, Deirdre Sugiochi, Barbara Dean, Barbara Lewis, Carl Glickman, Terry Steinberg, Joshua Borger, Georgia McPeak. There is C. Henderson, but I believe I know his first name of Clark Henderson, Peter Norris, Nancy Hunter, of course, by name of Peter, Kathy Mason, and Terry Nestor, and they're all supportive of the resolution that has been done.
I think there were some repeat names.
Right.
Mr. Shirley, do you have what's our tally at, just so everyone knows?
Mr. Chair, I agree. I heard some of the similar names that overlapped, so I can't say for sure, but it's 89 is what my number comes up to right now, give or take one or two.
Yeah, that sounds great. When we compile the minutes, perhaps we can go back and reconcile them, not that it matters, but make sure that the comments are entered into the public record.
Yeah.
So we are now going to move on in the agenda. And the next agenda item is the purpose of our meeting, which is a resolution regarding redistricting maps. And the first thing I'd like to point out is there was some confusion in some of these public comments and that folks were encouraging us to vote for the maps. We do not have that authority, and that's not why we are here. We are simply here to issue a statement in favor. And so that resolution has been prepared. I think let's go ahead and read it as is. And then we can discuss edits and then hopefully take a vote. Does that work for everyone? All right. I did a lot of reading. Will someone else volunteer to read the resolution? Mr. Shirley, thank you.
A resolution of the Board of Elections and Voter Registration of Athens-Clarke County, Georgia, to request the General Assembly to adopt a redistricting map proposed by Representative Spencer Fry and for other purposes. Whereas on October 15th, 2021, the Mayor and Commission of the Athens-Clarke County Unified Government, the Mayor and Commission, resolved to request the assistance of the Athens-Clarke County Board of Elections and Voter Registration, the Board of Elections, in preparing and recommending the new Commission district boundaries, the redistricting plan, for approval by the Commission. And whereas the resolution from the Mayor and Commission tasked the Board of Elections with ensuring that the provision of the Athens-Clarke County Charter were upheld, along with, where practical, redistricting best practices including voter convenience, avoiding dilution of likely voter affinity groups, preserving compact and contiguous districts, protecting incumbents, and avoiding racial or political gerrymandering. And whereas on November 9, 2021, the Board of Elections submitted its recommended map, the Board of Elections map, which equalized population, protected incumbents, preserved compact and contiguous districts, and avoided dilution of voter affinity groups by preserving 3 majority-minority districts to the Mayor and Commission. And whereas on November 16, 2021, the Mayor and Commission approved the Board of Elections map and forwarded said map for approval to the Legislative and Congressional Reapportionment Office, LCRO. And whereas on December 7, 2021, the Board of Elections map was submitted by the Athens-Clarke County Geospatial Information Office, GIO, to LCRO for technical review and certification. And whereas on December 10, 2021, LCRO requested minor revisions to the Board of Elections map, including balancing population to 1 to 1.5% of the mean, which caused minor adjustments to the boundary lines of districts 1, 2, 5, and 6, resulting in a revised Board of Elections map, created by the Athens-Clarke County Geospatial Information Office and certified by the LCRO. And whereas on December 14, 2021, the mayor and commission voted to adopt the revised Board of Elections map and send that map for approval by the General Assembly. And whereas on January 6, 2022, members of the state legislative delegation for Athens-Clarke County released an additional proposed map, the alternate map, which splits communities, displaces approximately 67% of residential addresses into new districts, will cause voter confusion as precincts will need to change, fails to take into account protection of incumbents, and will cause undue financial burden and hardship on election staff to reassign voters to their new districts and create ballots with multiple ballot combinations. And whereas on January 18, 2022, Representative Spencer Fry, a member of the state legislative delegation for Athens-Clarke County, released an additional proposed map, the compromise map, that displaces significantly fewer residential addresses to new districts, maintains an equalized population, protects likely voter affinity groups, will create fewer than 30% ballot combinations, and will not result in financial burden or unnecessary hardship on election staff. And whereas on January 20, 2022, at a special called session, the mayor and commission voted 8-2 in favor of a resolution to support the compromise map submitted by Representative Fry to be submitted to the General Assembly for approval. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Superintendent of the Board of Elections and Voter Registration of Athens-Clarke County, Georgia, and it is hereby so resolved by the authority of the same as follows. Section 1. The Superintendent of the Board of Elections and Voter Registration request and recommend the compromise map for consideration and approval by the General Assembly of Georgia. Section 2. The resolution shall become effective immediately upon its approval by the Board of Elections and Voter Registration. Approved and adopted this blank day of January, and then signature lines.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Mr. Shirley. Let's go around the room and provide give folks an opportunity to provide any feedback we have on this or just general comments. And then we'll go from there. So whoever would like to go first, raise your hand. Ms. Fambro, looks like you raised your hand first. Go ahead.
Thank you. I like the resolution as it is. I think it encompasses everything that I might have wanted to make a commentary on or commented on. And I think that at some point we should go ahead and vote on it after everybody does their own opinion of it.
Thank you, Ms. Fambro. Does any, I think Mr. Kadir had his hand up next.
Yes, I am also in strong favor of the resolution. I just want to state I'm not entirely comfortable with the idea of a map. One of the goals is allowing the incumbents to run again, to be able to run in their own district. And there are some merits to that. But at the same time, I don't believe a map should be produced to protect any incumbent. But on the other side, the factors weighing for my support are so strong with the idea of displaced voters, with the idea of renumbering the districts. It's just an immense burden, an amount of work that the staff will have to do. And I'm positive they will do it just a perfect job as they always do, but it will be extra time and so forth. And therefore, I am also in support of the map, of the resolution.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kadir. Mr. Shirley or Ms. Till, I'm not sure if you had your hand up since you've joined us on the phone. Would either of you like to speak? Okay.
I was
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your hand. Go ahead.
sorry, Mr. Chair. I was pausing in case Ann wanted to share something. I also am in favor of this. I appreciate so much, as all of us do, all the outreach from the community. And I've learned a lot in my discussions with my neighbors in my network from this. It's a complicated issue, right? As shown by so many people who commented that they wanted us to approve the maps, right? And that's, as you pointed out, that's not quite what we have a very narrow lane here. And it's just that since we were involved in this process from the beginning, I agree that I completely agree that, like Hank said, this is something that our staff could handle, but it seems to be unnecessary when there is this compromise map that accomplishes all the good of the alternate map. As we all talked about, there are all the things, many things that we were discussing in our work sessions about these maps back in the fall have really come through in the alternate map, but also in the compromise map. So I don't see anything that we gain from the compromise map. I don't see anything that we gain from the alternate map that we don't also gain from the compromise map. And there's none of the downside in the compromise map that we have with the alternate map. So I hope that we are all in agreement with this. I have a couple of small minor grammatical things when we get to that part of this, but as far as the top level stuff, I'm all in favor of the intention behind this.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shirley. Ms. Till, would you like to provide any commentary?
Mr. Chair, I would like to thank all of the members of the board for each of those meetings that we attended with the GIO and how difficult it was under the circumstances, the boundaries that we had to work within, and we all wanted to do what we thought was really the best for each community and keep them together. And we attempted many times to do what we thought was right for the community and the voters. And I just wanted the public, anyone that's listening, to understand that we took it very seriously, and I'm very proud of everyone for the work that they did.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Till. Director Sosby, would you like to say anything, or you're welcome to, or any member of the staff if you have any comments or feedback.
Thank you, Chairman Raffle. First, I just sent you guys an email that I just received that has a public comment, I would say. But if you'll see that, and in the meantime, I like to just to share with you what our timeline looks like. And I thought this would be a good time to take advantage of the airtime, because I'm sure that we are not the only ones listening to the meeting today. But what we would need as a staff, we would like to have all of our districts ready no later than February 1st. That gives us 15 days, and those are not all working days, 15 days to complete the information that needs to go into our ElectionNet system to create the district combos that will be assigned to our voters. We want to have that done to meet the Secretary of State's deadline, which is February 18th. And then we would have to request precinct cards that will go out to all of our voters. And there's a state election board rule that requires us to have these mailed no later than April 22nd. However, in the meantime, we have qualifying that's going to be going on. So in between the time of us entering it into the Secretary of State's office system and preparing for the precinct cards, we'll have to send a notice to the media for a media release. And again, adhere to that timeline as far as having voter registration cards ready for our voters. That's supposed to be 30 days prior to the election, and that day is April 22nd. So we're going to be working sun up, sundown, and probably some weekends to get this done, because we do want to meet the deadline and we want to stick to this timeline that I have set forth. So thank you for making your decision and taking it to the respectful individuals who would get this all rolling. We're behind you, and we just want to make sure that everything's done properly so that we can do what we do best. So thank you.
You are welcome, and thank you to your staff. You all do a wonderful job. I'd also like to thank the attorney's office for their assistance in the editing process and helping us get to this point. And then the public comment that Director Sosby mentioned was an email from Miss Joan Roden, and it was in opposition to the resolution. Okay, maybe we can go into making some edits. Mr. Shirley, when you read this, I just want to make sure you're looking at the right copy. You said October in the very first paragraph, but the copy I have says November. I don't know if that was just a.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I had, I'm sorry to get into nuts and bolts here. I don't have Microsoft Word. And so when I had downloaded this, I had pasted it over into the word processor that I use. And when I was reading over this and formatting it to the format that the attorney's office had given us in PDF form, I spotted that it said in October or in November. And that made me look up the date of their resolution. And the best I could find was that their resolution was passed by them on October 15th, 2021. So you're right. The version that we have in front of us currently reads, I believe it reads in November. But if I would suggest we make a minor change, as long as everyone else would be okay with that, of shifting it to on October 15, 2021. Small thing, but you're right. It is not currently on your version.
Okay, that is fine. Let's go back to that in 1 second. Miss Pappas, are you able to capture the edits while we go through this, since you kind of have the original copy? Does that work for you, or I know that Adam would probably be willing to do so as well.
I can do that. I have it up. If you would prefer, I can share my screen so that everyone can see it.
Okay, yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
Is
Can you all see
there,
that?
I can, yeah. Could you zoom a little bit under, yeah, view, yeah. Page width probably would work. Perfect. Okay, so is there a way to verify that commission meeting thing? Does anyone have that handy to dig up for the first paragraph? And then Mr. Shirley, do you want to just call out the edits you had? And we can just go through them. Hopefully they're not controversial edits and we can just make them. Attorney Pappas, do we need to suspend rules so we can make edits and not have to vote on every period and semicolon, or can we just edit?
I think you can just edit as long as it's not changing the text of it or the intent of it. If it's just grammatical or clerical errors, it's fine to not vote.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair, I would suggest, and again, these are all minor things. Probably, most likely, the typos came from a draft that we were working on before we sent it to the attorney's office. But in the title, we have Georgia that is misspelled currently.
Yep.
And then, for what it's worth, and I invite the rest of you to Google this as well. When I Google Athens-Clarke County Commission Board of Elections Resolution October, I see October 15, 2021, a resolution of the Commission of Athens-Clarke County, and that is, in fact, the resolution that led us down this wonderful rabbit hole.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I think that'd be good to change that.
And then otherwise, I think, yeah, it gets really, really, I have very minor things that I guess, unless part of me wants to be as perfect as possible with this, as far as like, this being every single thing formatted correctly, but I don't want to get too much in the weeds. So I'll say this, in the paragraph that mentions January 6th, the whereas on January 6th, it uses the word will. To me, that sounds like this is already in effect. And I would think that the word would reflect it better. It's a small thing, and I totally understand if we don't want to go down that road, but would, and that would need to be, I guess, yeah, the other wills, the other incidents of will, I think there's 2 more times that will happens. And I think making them would reflect that this is a possibility, right? This is still pending. So I see it appears as precincts would need to change. Right. And then, yes. So then elsewhere, yeah, Attorney Papa sees what I'm talking about. So that was, I believe, yeah, those are the grammatical things that I noticed.
And Commissioner or Chairman Raffle, if I could, I did note while Mr. Shirley was reading it, in one of the, not sure exactly which whereas right now, but I did display some of the letters of LCRO. Did fix that as well.
And then, so Mr. Chair, those were all of the, I guess, what, formatting, pagination, whatever, typographical things that I had noticed. Thank you.
You know, I'm talking over here with my microphone muted. I said, do any other members have any other minor edits or anything they'd like to change at this point? All right. Hearing no more edits, I think we have reached the final version. So at this point, let's put this bad boy to a vote. So the chair will entertain a motion to approve the resolution as written.
I so move.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Kadir. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Shirley. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't see because the document was being shared. So now we're good. So we have a second by Mr. Shirley. We're going to take a vote. All those in favor, please say aye or yes or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any of those opposed?
No.
Okay. I was going to ask if anyone wishes to abstain, but it looks as though it's passed 4 in favor and 1 against. So the resolution passes. On this 26th day of January. And then I'm hoping we can put ink to paper on this, so to speak. Is it possible for members to come to the downtown office to sign it tomorrow or Friday? Is there, yeah, Charlotte
When will
or
it be-
Aletha?
when will it be ready by?
Yeah. Charlotte or Director Sosby, is there someone from your staff that could be the owner of this? We could come in and sign it, or what would work best?
Yes, so Pam would take on that responsibility.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Miss Long, do you know about what time you'd have that ready tomorrow? That's okay. We can figure that out later. So the next item on the agenda are announcements. And the announcements are as follows. Our February regular meeting is on February 8th at 4:30. Again, back to 4:30. We are meeting at 5:30 due to some members scheduling conflicts. And then upcoming voter registration dates for everyone's information. March 11th at noon is the deadline to qualify as a candidate for the May 24th election. April 25th is the deadline to register in order to vote in the May 24th election. And because of SB 202, April 25th is also the deadline to register if you wish to vote in the runoff, if there is a runoff for the May 24th election. And May 23rd is the deadline to register in order to vote in the federal contest, which are going to be, or federal runoffs, excuse me, June 21st. And with that, the chair will enter, oh, hi,
Can I add one announcement? I just
please.
wanted to announce that the poll worker application is open now. We're accepting applications. We'll start interviews on the 9th of February, and we're hoping this year to hire as many as 90 new poll workers. So please apply.
Awesome, thank you.
Where do they pick up the applications?
The application is online at the ACC.gov website, so accc.gov.com/jobs.
Great, thank you so much. With that, if there are not any further announcements, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Okay, a motion by Ms. Fambro. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Ms. Till. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, unanimous. There we go. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.